Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's Sunday Musings, where every week I sit down and chat with you about something that's on my mind. I also write a blog about this on Medium in a little more detail with a few different thoughts. It's always complimentary, and I invite you to check it out. The link's right here. As always, I would love to hear back from you. So reach out on here or on Medium, or at the end of this video, there's a link to my Calendly. Please check it out and feel free to make time to chat. I would love to have a conversation with you. So welcome to my second month of book reviews. Last month, you may recall that I started off talking about a review from my cousin's book, Peter Learns a Lesson. Yes, it's a children's book, but there were some great lessons in it. And it's a really good story, so if you missed it, check it out. You can find the link to the Medium blog right here. And you can find a link to the YouTube video right here. This week, I'm going to talk about a book that was brought to my attention when I started my new job at Middle Sigma. A couple weeks before I started, I was chatting with my new manager, and she was saying that they really embrace certain tenets and foundational things of teamwork. Now, I know what you're thinking. We've all heard that before. And I've been at companies where teamwork is espoused, but it seems that they really do invest. Enough that they bring in people to do quarterly trainings in evolving around the core set of principles. And one of the foundational books that our division at least uses is called The Ideal Teamplayer Framework. You may have read a book recently or over the years called The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. That is by an author by the name of Patrick Lencioni. And if I'm saying it wrong, I apologize. The Ideal Teamplayer is this month's book. And I want to talk about it in a little bit of detail, but I'm not going to give it away. I really do recommend you read it. It is a really simple read, 218 pages, and a fast, easy read. Or if you prefer, on Audible, there's a book there too. And it's available on Kindle, so there's really no excuse. The Ideal Teamplayer is part of a series of fables that Patrick Lencioni puts on. There is a whole series of them, and I've been working my way through them and really enjoying them. There is nothing earth-shattering or aha in any of his books. They're all based in things that make sense. Sometimes even the lessons that we might have learned in kindergarten. And when you read them, it's more of a, wow, that put it together in a great way that makes sense. The first half or 2/3 of the book is always a fable, where he talks about a story. It illustrates what he's trying to uncover in the book. And then the last part of the book is where he talks about the model, in this case the Ideal Teamplayer model, and what it really means. So in the Ideal Teamplayer, he talks about the fable of a construction company, which, to be honest, I know nothing about. But it still resonated with me. But when you've gone into a team, and you're trying to see how you'll work together, and there's always those bad apples that get away with everything, that derail any of that cohesiveness, that people end up working around. Or you have a bad manager that the entire team gets together and works around that manager to get things done. Probably not as effectively, but there's no cohesion or confidence that you can work together as a team and have each other's back and trust. Just to give you a little bit of a hint, the Ideal Teamplayer should have 3 things. They should be hungry, they should be humble, and they should be smart. And those might not mean what you think they mean. To learn more, definitely read this book. But hungry. You're hungry for the experience, to do more than is necessarily strictly required. We all know somebody in a job that works and does exactly the minimum and then clocks out. There's not really any great passion or interest in being there. They're there to clock in, do exactly their job, no more, no less, and clock out. Their performance reviews are right up the middle. They never excel, and they never really fail. There's no real passion. Somebody who is hungry is excited about what they're doing, become full of energy. They are ready to just do. I am not saying that means that they should work 80 or 100-hour work weeks. That's a different topic for next week, actually. But what I am saying is they are passionate and they give everything that they're there. They're the ones that are so excited and passionate about what they do, and they are there to do it and to lend a hand and help the success of the team, even if that means working a little bit outside of their scope. Humble. Kind of like this is a don't be an asshole, but really it's somebody who is not ego-driven, who is empathetic to others, who is willing to see others and just be on even keel. They're not an ego that's too big to fit through the door. It's not all about them. The last is smart. And smart does not mean book smart, which is amusing since we are talking about a book today. Smart does not even mean that you know how to do a task or skill. In this case, smart is something along the lines of social smart, or people smart, or emotionally smart. If you are smart, you care about others. You are aware of the people around you, and you're aware of what your actions do to impact them. You are an emotionally intelligent being and a socially intelligent being. This does not come natural to everybody. It means that you need to work at it. And the ideal team player has all three: humble, hungry, and smart. If you're missing one, that doesn't mean you're not an ideal team player. It just means that maybe you have an area that you need to work on. But if you're missing all of these things, maybe you are not the best fit for the organization that follows these tenets. And it's likely that life would be a little uncomfortable. So, I was really intrigued by this. These are the same tenets you see on a sports team with kids. You don't want to necessarily, of course you would love, if you're recruiting for a high school basketball team, to have all the tall kids that are really good. But do you really have a good team if you have one showboat who only cares about his scoring numbers and how many baskets he gets? Or do you want a team that's cohesive, that works together and supports each other to the win? Rather than one basketball dribbler who's always about scoring and never about passing, and then there's everyone else. The cohesive group is a team. The other is just an individual with another group of people. I think if we have effective teamwork, then that facilitates our ability to work well within a team and have healthy conversation, healthy conflict discussion, to grow and work and support each other and move towards a common goal of success. So, that's this month's book, The Ideal Team Player. I really recommend it. And if you like this one, there's a lot of other books in the same series. And they're all super easy to read. They don't feel like you're actually reading a book about teamwork. They feel like you're just reading something that resonates. At least it was that way for me. Have you read this book? Do you have other books on teamwork? I would love to hear from you. And until next week, we'll see you later.